Welcome to another program on Free Thinking Forum. I'm Bill Weir, the host and producer, and I'm delighted today to have with me two old friends, Marianne Lundquist and Bill Elwood, who are involved in leading a new project that you'll want to hear about. The Community Solar Garden Project that is spearheaded now by the folks with Moose Jaw. You want to tell us, Marianne, what is a community solar garden? How does it work?
Well, thank you for asking, Bill. A community solar garden, people are always wondering what that means. And you think of it more as a solar power plant. It is for electricity. It will produce electricity for up to 150 households. These are solar panel arrays that would cover about a football field.
Wow, in my backyard?
Well, do you have a football field in your backyard?
No, I don't have room for that. It's somewhere else.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be right by my home or church or something.
No, you don't put it on your roof. You don't put it on the neighbor's roof. It's a very large array that usually goes on less usable farmland, and rent goes to the farmer. And then the power from that array is connected to the XL grid and produces electricity for homes and buildings.
Oh, do we have to get the same electricity that's created there in the solar garden to our homes?
No.
Because all electricity is the same, right?
All electricity
at least
on the grid is.
On the grid.
But what happens is individuals, households, and for us, our churches can subscribe to get our power from this electrical array. And then what we do is we pay the developer who has built these grids for our electricity. And oh, by the way, we pay 9% less than what Excel charges.
Wow, that sounds good. Bill, where did this concept of community solar gardens come from?
Well, it came out of the Minnesota legislature in 2013.
Well, good for them.
It was the Energy and Jobs bill that had in it a provision that said that XL Energy was to increase the amount of solar power generated to 1.5% by 2020, and including community solar gardens as part of that. So it was passed, and it's now left to the Public Utilities Commission to implement it.
And so this was signed by Governor Dayton?
Yes, it was.
And now XL is making it possible for community solar gardens to exist. Are they actually handling it? Are you contracting with them?
Yes, the XL has got a set of rules that govern how it is to operate and how people can use the gardens and set up gardens. And XL has been working with the garden developers, to put these together and offer them to the public.
Good. Have this been done before elsewhere in the country?
It's done in one other state that I'm aware of, which is in Colorado. They have a small community solar garden program in Colorado that was passed by the Colorado legislature.
And what do you see as the benefits of a community solar garden? Maybe both of you can answer this.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
The primary concern that we have is the need for renewable energy, non-polluting energy. So if a large percentage of the Unitarian Universalists in the metro area and their churches signed up, we could reduce carbon output, CO2, in the metro area by over 8,000 tons per year.
8,000 tons, that's a lot.
Yes. Think of it in a slightly different way. It's the 8,000 tons would be the equivalent of almost 20 million miles of passenger car driving.
Wow.
So by just signing up to get your electricity from solar, you will do an incredible job to reduce climate change.
You say incredible, unbelievable, but you really mean it's now here, it's now possible.
It is possible.
It is real.
It is real.
I've been looking for this kind of thing for years.
Well, there are a couple other benefits I'd mention too, Bill. One of them is because of the program and the way the pricing is set up on the program, subscribers to the community solar gardens will save 9% on their utility bills, their electricity bills every month. And that's definitely a good benefit. The other benefit
do they have to be a member of one of these churches?
No, they don't. They can be a member, a friend, or non-members of the churches to be participants in this. Even though the churches
It'd be
are
offered through. Well, maybe we should ask now what churches are these?
Well, there are 4 Unitarian Universalist churches. First Universalist Church, so far, yes. There's a lot of interest in that other churches are expressing. First Universalist Church in Minneapolis, First Unitarian Society in Minneapolis, Unity Unitarian in St. Paul, and Minnesota Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. In Bloomington are the 4 UU churches, and then Oak Grove Presbyterian in Bloomington is also a participant in our coalition.
But there's room for more?
There will be room for more, yes. We've already had interest from other UU churches, and we're open to talking to other UU churches about this, yes.
And I think it's obvious from what you've already said, how does the community solar garden benefit the environment? This is huge, huge.
Even, it's all the other pollutants that also go into the air that are being reduced. Think of the issues children and adults that have with asthma and other significant health issues because of the pollution into the air. This will reduce this. This will have a major health benefit too.
Wow. That what why are church communities getting involved? It's obvious. Why are they not?
Yes. Well, we've been fortunate in that we've come together in a coalition of UU churches, and we're using it as a community building project, so that we've been working across the churches. We have a team that works with each of the churches, and each will have their own marketing and outreach program as part of this. And that's another benefit, really, is that it's community building, and each of the churches will be earning some commission for the people that sign up. So each of the churches will earn a little bit of money that they can turn around and put into their environmental justice programs.
What a great way to increase your contribution to the church.
It is.
It
very much
is.
so.
And one of the great benefits of our program that some of the other programs that are being worked on is that it's a pay-as-you-go program. In other words, there is no cost, there is no sign-up fee.
Oh, you don't have to buy the solar panels.
You don't have to buy, you don't have to invest. There is no fee to sign up. You sign up, and we have a whole group of volunteers at each church that will help people go through the sign-up process. But there's no cost to sign up.
So 0 subscription cost
Yes.
and
The only
nothing to pay for.
Well, what happens is you wind up paying for it in your monthly utility bill. You still pay a bill.
It's added on to the utility bill.
Yeah, and yes, you wind up paying the developer each month for the electricity the developer generates, and the developer sells that to Xcel, and Xcel gives us a billing credit on each of our bills, and Xcel keeps track of that, so that we get a credit on our bill every month. And the net of the Xcel bill and the developer bill, the net of the savings is 9% each month.
9%?
Yes.
Yes.
Even after paying my part in the cost of the solar panel?
It is. The cost is amortized over a 25-year contract that each of us signs to participate.
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to be around that long.
Well, it's
Well,
good you brought that
yeah,
up, because none of us are probably going to be around.
I don't think I'll be around either. And there are very easy ways. One of the things is that this is portable. So if you downsize or move into another,
Others can sign up.
you can have, for instance, the person or persons who take over where you live, they can take over your subscription.
And
you
get
can
the
take it
9%
with
off.
Yes, or you can take it with you.
Oh.
Or if you move out of the Xcel area, then you have to give up your subscription.
Maybe I'll give it to one of my kids.
If they're Xcel customers,
Yes,
you
you
can,
can do
you can
that.
transfer it to them.
Wow,
Yes.
what a gift.
It's
It is.
It's a terrific gift. It's a terrific deal. It's a terrific gift to the environment.
Mm-hmm. I'm stunned. How can the deal be so good? You guys must have worked hard to hammer this out.
Well, a lot of people have worked hard on this. We've been working hard on the Unitarian Universalist part of the project, but the developers have been working hard, the utility has been working hard to get the rules ironed out as to how the program would work. Mm-hmm. And this is the fruition of a lot of people's efforts, but ours particularly regarding Unitarian Universalist participation, which we really, really want.
We started interviewing potential developers last January. Our value was...
you had a selection of developers to
yes.
choose from.
Oh, yes.
Yes. There are some 15 or so developers that are coming into the Minnesota market, our Twin Cities market specifically, to offer these programs to, some of them are commercial only, that is, they're only offering it to businesses.
Yeah.
Some are offering it to businesses and residential, and some are pretty much residential only. And in our case, we're dealing with an organization that deals pretty much with churches and residents.
Oh, so they're experienced in this kind of approach to the churches and their members and friends.
And we had to evaluate each of those programs to make sure that we had chosen the best program that we could offer to our congregants and our friends.
Our values were, we focused on two major values. One was common good, so that almost everybody could participate.
Yeah.
And then least risk. Almost everybody can participate because there's no sign-up charges, there are no upfront fees. So that's also least risk. You don't there's no way to lose money on this.
Wow, what a gift! And how long have you been working on this?
Almost a year.
Yeah, we started working on it. I started working on it after the legislation was passed, and there was a period of time there where a number of policy decisions had to be made before the actual working groups started to work out the rule set with XL Energy. And then we started to work at that point with looking at the various developers and developing our agreements, our subscription agreements and our community partner agreements that we will be using and are using with our developer to carry out the program in our churches. So and that's taken about a year.
Well, how can people in other congregations sign up or or at least check into it? Who do they call?
Well, do you want to answer that one, or?
They can call Bill or me. Our emails are on the program.
They're on the screen right now.
And we would be happy to be in contact with them about either signing up to our programs within our churches, or if people are really excited about this, they might want to go to their own church leadership and see how they can do the same thing.
Their temple or their mosque or their...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we have had inquiries both from other Unitarian churches, but also from Methodist churches, and we expect to have more. The more people who can sign up for community solar, for renewable energy, the greater good.
And do you mean that this is expandable to beyond the plot that your contractor has already? They can.
There are plenty of plots around the metro area and in other parts of the state, as long as it's in the XL area, for people to replicate what we've done.
XL has gotten many applications from the developers to develop gardens, and XL is processing those applications now. And there's something like 600 or 700 of them that are actively being processed, and then there's several hundred that are in the queue behind those. So that by the time we get through the first set of applications, there'll be more coming, and people will be able to participate all through 2016 and 2017 in getting into the gardens.
Wow. So individuals can sign up through one of the congregations that are in it now, or they can encourage their own congregation to sign up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it is a benefit to all to get as many people as possible, churches and organizations, to sign up for renewable energy, for solar.
Well, it sounds so great. When will this be built? 20 years from now, or?
Well, we're shooting for the applications that are being processed now, and our marketing campaign is designed to get into the 2016 construction window. So we're hoping to get
summertime.
Summertime, yes, in the spring. Starting in the spring, they'll be able to start the construction on these gardens. And if it all goes well, we'll have the subscriptions completed to fill the gardens, and the gardens will be built through the summer, and they would actually be turned on in the fall of 2016.
Sometime before Election Day in 2016, maybe we can count on a discount on our energy bill.
There you go. That's a good goal to shoot for.
Okay.
And we also, since there will be a garden or two that will be simply for the first unit, for the unit, the coalition, we hope to have a ribbon cutting or sign celebrating when the garden is built, and we'll also have naming rights for it too.
Naming rights.
Yes,
My
naming
God.
rights.
Well, we're going to put a plaque on the garden that we're going to call our UU Solar Garden, and then maybe once a year we'll go out and have a picnic under the solar panels.
That sounds like a great community endeavor.
That's the value of this, is the community building part of it. I think it's
Yeah.
really a good.
Working together to solve this problem.
That's right.
Yes,
to
indeed.
reduce carbon.
Indeed.
So I'm trying to think of anything more that people might need to know. How many? There's no limit to the number of people that can sign up. Is that right?
At this point, we're assuming that there isn't a limit, and that we're taking all applications at this point in time, and we'll be starting to. Actually, each of the
Do you have
churches.
a copy of the form so I can sign up right now?
Well, we didn't have to bring one with us today, but we have a subscription agreement.
I'll go to church. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
and
And
pick it up
sign
at
up.
church. Yes, and we'll be having meetings in our churches to bring our congregants up to speed and friends up to speed on the program, so they know how to go about the process of signing up.
Okay.
But we'll have subscription agreements available at that time.
And what are the possibilities? Is there any probability that I couldn't sign up
Well,
if I'm not served by XL Energy?
it's possible and probably more than likely that there will be so much demand that the demand might exceed the supply of gardens that will be
Oh.
available. We don't really know how big that problem is yet, because we haven't really gone to the marketplace yet and to see what the reception is. But it's possible that somebody could get on a waiting list, for example.
And for phase 2.
Yes, for
Yeah.
the next garden that's approved, yes.
So if you want to get in on the discount by Election Day 2016, you better get on the
Get in
get
line
signed up
now.
Get in line, yes.
Yeah, there
And-
actually, each person who signs up, there will be a sort of a date stamp, and it's first come, first serve.
Well, good. And you anticipate about how many people could sign up?
Well,
For
we're
the
talking in
first
the hundreds. We're anticipating
500
that yes, there could be 500 or more.
Or 1,000.
Or,
I mean,
or 1,000. We're very optimistic that the UU community is going to be very receptive to this, and so we're estimating it's going to be in the several hundred people that are going to participate, residences that are going to participate.
And our developer has assured us that we will be first in line or close to first in line as the gardens come online.
Oh, good. Now, this sounds like something that deserves to be replicated in other parts of the country too,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, a lot of
even other countries.
A lot of eyes are on us now. That is, other states are kind of watching how our program unfolds. And I believe, from what I understand, there will be some precedences that we're setting and some ideas that we're using that will then get incorporated into programs in other states. So you're right, it is.
Well, is it too soon to encourage congregations in other states to ask their state legislature to do what ours did?
No, I think that the public ought to be demanding more solar, more access to renewable energy, and many states are. But our program is somewhat unique.
Now, your hats say UU Community Solar Garden,
Yes,
so maybe these could be used in other parts of the country too.
that's true. Yeah. We
Sell a lot of hats.
We could
Get 'em
sell.
moving.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
right. We'll be in the
yes.
hat business.
We truly, we've been working on this for so long, we truly are on the cutting edge.
Wow. Congratulations.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you.
Brings tears to my eyes to realize
Well,
that you're pioneering something that we've needed for so long.
well, you come and sign up and sign a subscription agreement when we have the meeting, the sign-up
Well,
meeting
I'll be
at,
one of the first in
at your
line.
church.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I'm not sure we've covered all these questions, have we? That if I'm not a Unitarian Universalist, how can I find out more about this program?
Well, by contacting one of our churches would be,
Or one of you.
or one of us, and because there'll be volunteers in each of the churches that'll be processing these subscriptions.
And if my church is not involved already, who should they call?
Well,
would that be
again-
one of you?
Again,
Alan?
call us or Alan Callender, and we'd be happy to talk with them about it.
Good. Well, what else is there to say? Let's start the sign up now.
Let's do it. We're looking forward to offering it to our congregants, and we're very proud of what we've accomplished to this point.
And you promised to have a picnic there at least once a year?
That's right. We'll have the picnic under the solar panels.
Or beside them, I'm not quite sure.
By the way, that's another thing
yeah.
that's part of the panels that are going to be installed out in these fields, these ground-mounted panels. There's an element of environmental protection as part of this. That
what's that?
when we've contracted with the developers, we've asked them to be very aware of the ground cover under the panels, and to take particular care in not using pesticides and planting bee pollinator plants, clovers and things like that will
Things that bees like
that are favorable to the environment.
Yes,
It will attract bees.
and butterflies. Probably.
And butterflies, yes. So we've built that into what we're constructing.
Wow, you really thought about. It seems like you've thought about everything that you could possibly do to make this an ideal plan.
It's going to be an excellent program for our congregations and for any people that choose to subscribe.
Well, maybe we're done. Do you have anything more to say, Marianne?
No?
How about you, Bill?
I think just stay tuned in your churches. The faith communities are an excellent place for this kind of a program to improve the environment. And many green teams in the churches are launching projects like this to fight climate change. So we encourage you all to watch for the opportunity to sign up for Community Solar Garden.
And we encourage people to do it soon. If they're excited about this, if they think this is a great idea,
Get in on the ground floor.
Get into it, get interested as soon as possible, because the demand is going to be huge.
Yes. Wouldn't it be great if a high percentage of people in the area were to sign up for this? Wow.
That would be ideal.
It would be wonderful, and it's a
And
win-win.
tons and tons and tons of carbon dioxide that will not be messing up our atmosphere.
Yes.
Thank you, Marianne.
You're welcome, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
You've got a great thing going.
Well,
Thank you
good.
for sharing it with us.
We think so.
Thank you for tuning in.